today by asking you, if your life was a TV series, would it be legendary? Is your life legendary? If your life was a TV series, would it inspire someone? Or would it be a waste of airtime? Would it be canceled after the first episode? It is a privilege to be in sales, and we're going to talk about that today. Also, we're going to talk about a concept on the numbers don't lie. We're going to highlight the importance of overall team effort and individual effort in goal-oriented tasks and how we can apply this to sales techniques so that we can maximize our performance. Now ask yourself this question. If you didn't answer within your heart of hearts that your life is legendary, we're going to figure out how we can make that legendary today. Everyone present here today is a genius, and your life should be legendary. You can leave this planet today or tomorrow. No one should just wake up going through the motion, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do today. Your life should be full of passion so that you can inspire people. And I made that my mission in life to use my example to inspire people. So I want to tell you a little bit about myself before we get into our theme. Our theme today is how to manifest your true genius. And I told you we're going to highlight some concepts called numbers don't lie. And when we get to that, I'll talk about that. I would like to tell you about my background. I became an entrepreneur at 17. It was sparked from my desperation to escape the jaw-gripping claws or teeth of poverty. I've seen my father literally 4 times. Make sure there's 4. Literally 4 times after the age of 11. I saw him at 11, 15, 20, I think 21 and 26. He just abandoned me. I have no clue why. My mom was diagnosed as a schizophrenic at the age of 7, so she had a nervous breakdown. I used to turn on the kitchen lights and roaches would scatter about. Our house was about $30,000. There was tape on the floor, and I looked at that. I had this epiphany at 11. I like to say I was attacked with an epiphany because it felt like a heart attack to me. I didn't like it. I saw it. I said, I don't want this. I looked around. I had no one to talk to. So I developed a relationship with God, that He was my Father. So I said, how am I going to get out of it? I had no clue what I was going to do. So a kid's first natural resolve, in my opinion, is to turn to sports sometime. So I said, okay, well, I'll go to the NBA, I'll become a martial arts master, I'll do all these things. I had no clue it would culminate in me becoming a trainer. So I just started walking down the path. So I started, this is true, I started with my nightstand. I took the drawer out and I started curling. I'm not making this up. I pressed it on. I had no clue what I need to work out. I have no weights. I made a resolve that I will work out 3 times a week from that day moving forward. And that was 19 years ago. I'm currently 30. I have not missed. I work out more than that, but I made that resolve. So I used to jump rope in the rain. My mom used to come outside and say, get your crazy self in this house, boy. I was jump rope. And I said, Mom, I have to get out of this situation. And I talked to her about it every day. I fussed at my mom every day about being on Section 8. When I knew what it meant, I always say 11 because that's when I comprehended fully what it meant. My monthly income was $150. I never used a food stamp card. She used to try to make me go use it. I have nothing against food stamp card. I just had this standard at the age of 11, and I refused to do it. Now I would eat the food. I didn't use the card. So I refused to do it. So she would whip me. I know that's probably not the best example of being your parents, but I'm so happy I did that. I refused to use a food stamp card. I refused to do it. So I fussed at my mom. I said, Mom, we can get off this program. You don't have to do this. You can own your own house. So it took about 8 years for her to grasp that concept. I'm not taking credit for what she did, but I know that I was used by God to inspire my mom. It took her 8 years, and then she started believing that she could own her own home. So she couldn't work because she was diagnosed, so she got her boyfriend because he was living with her as well. He was comfortable with being on Section 8. So she started drilling him, say, hey, we need to have a house. We need to get out of this. We need, and they eventually did. So they moved into their house 2008, and that was a victory. And from that point moving forward for me, it taught me that you can't underestimate how your life can inspire someone no matter your age. So when we think about that and that concept, our lives should be live as legendary lives. So that's what I want to drill home, that concept. So now I want to talk about geniuses. I think that every last person on this planet is a genius, and here's why. There's about 7.6 billion people on our planet. I look at that as an opportunity for the universe to operate through 7.6 billion people. Now, you think about cable TV, you have all these channels. How often do we actually tune into our own personal channel? So sometimes we're watching other people's channels more than our own. You should be obsessed with greatness. Anybody that is in sales, or anyone that is in sales, a true seller, should be obsessed with greatness. So never we want to make the mistake of not investing in ourselves. Stop watching other people's channel. Your own channel is legendary. Invest in your channel so that you can inspire other people. See, when we do that, everybody gets better. We inspire other people, and that's what we really, really want to focus on. Now, here's why I say that everyone is a genius. When we think about the anatomy of the brain, this stuff is true. You have 3 parts of your mind: the subconscious, conscious, and unconscious mind. The subconscious mind has unlimited storage space. And everyone has unlimited storage space. Now we think about neurons, synapses, and neurons in itself, it's the same. It's compared to this, an engine, a 27 GT Mustang, both have 450 horsepower. It takes premium gas. One guy puts premium gas in his car and the other one does not. He keeps up with the maintenance. Which car is going to unleash the horsepower? It's going to be the guy that puts the proper gas into his car. And our brains are the same. Do you know the same amount of information that you knew yesterday? I learn 3 words every day. I'm literally obsessed with greatness. My wife thinks I'm crazy. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll just start reading stuff. Because I know by investing in my mind that I'm going to get better. I treat my body the same way, my spirituality. I look for ways to get better every day. Sometimes I'll just pick up paper off the floor because I don't ever want to think that I'm beneath that to do that. So I have a different perspective. So to be legendary, you have to tune into your own channel. To be legendary, you have to become obsessed with greatness. And that's very critical to do that. So by a show of hands, who in here is obsessed with greatness? Yes.
My wife thinks I'm crazy too.
Which is great, because when you're doing uncommon things, people will say that you're crazy. So now that I have your attention on that concept, I want to talk about some principles on the concept called numbers don't lie. Now this is chapter 11 of a book that'll be coming out soon that I wrote called Just Get Up. It's an inspirational memoir. However, I love numbers. I used to manage a sales team when I was 20 years old, and everybody in there was twice my age, and I had to really start believing in myself, because the guy said, you're the guy for this job. And I was like, I can't talk to those people. They're twice my age. But they saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. So right then I was developing strategies, and they taught me a whole bunch of stuff that is good, because although, people, sales concepts are different, it's really all the same if you look at it, if you understand the product. So the first thing I want to talk about is the objectivity of numbers. And this is why I like numbers. See, often or sometimes we as individuals fall into the habit of not grading ourselves accurately. So we all are familiar with A, B, C, D, and F, the grading system. And we know those percentages of what they represent. Here's something I want to introduce you to. It's called goal-oriented tasks. I want to talk about it a little bit. I think I have where's the marker?
Oh, right there, the marker.
Now, this is something I did for an agency. So this is going to be a real life example. So there's a process to every proving goal-oriented strategy. As an example, let's say I'm training someone and they have these goals. So those are the goal-oriented tasks. They may have 12 goal-oriented tasks, and they may only be doing well in 2 of those categories. So as an example, that's a possible 1,200%. If it's 12 categories, you always start off with 100%. It can only be 100% until you start performing. So just like a test, someone puts a test in front of you, you automatically have 100% until you start taking the test, or unless you refuse to take the test, it's automatic 0. So you always start off with 100%. So all your opportunities are always 100% until you go after it. Then you're able to say, okay, well, those are 50% or 80%. But if you do nothing at all, it's an automatic 0%. So if I have 12 tasks to achieve a goal, and let's say I'm doing 100% in this category, that's my maximum effort. I'm doing 100% in this category, 50% in this category, 60% here and there. Then we add them all up. Let's say it's a total overall effort of 600%. That's an F of 50%. That's how I look at everything I do when I'm working with clients, when I'm trying to achieve my goals. Now here's why that's important. What if we're stuck in the mindset, well, I'm showing up, that's good, I'm doing 100% in that category, I'm doing this. For example, somebody's on a treadmill, but they go home, they're eating bad, they're not doing all the other stuff. I say you need an 85% heart rate, the heart rate is 40%. So when you put all those things together, they still don't hit their goals. So in order to be legendary, you have to be 100%. So not only do you have to be 100%, you have to understand the process. And what I like about this concept is not only does it guarantee your results, but it also exposes an issue with the process if you are doing 100%. Because sometimes we don't really know if the process works unless we do it 100%. Now, if we are doing it 100%, these are the two problems. Something is wrong with the execution of it, or the process needs to be revamped. Just like people make discoveries, we have to keep changing our game plan. So let me show you how to use it. So, as an example, I don't understand the process here, but if I knew, I could give you the exact numbers. I'll use an example from an agency. So their process to sell car policies was 40 phone calls a day, 5 inquiries a day, and 5 emails. There's 3 goal-oriented tasks, so you got to identify the task. So what is that? There's a total of 300 possible effort. Now we're going to talk about this as individual effort. I haven't gotten to the team effort concept yet. So that's 300% possible effort, like on the table until they do something. So let's say I'm supposed to make 5 inquiries a day. And if I only do 1, that's a 20%, which is an F. So 20% here, and then I do 50% here and 100%, put it together 170. So you can see how you always want your numbers to match up. You always start with the numbers. The numbers have to match after the process is identified. So look at your individual tasks. We're talking about individual tasks for your goals. So Brandon said, okay, this is the process to get this. Grade your performance. Okay, if I'm here and here, okay, 70%, that's no longer acceptable. The only way that you can evolve and to maximize finding another way is to give 100% effort. And even then, if you do 40 phone calls and you don't hit your market, go 60, go 80. There is no limit to life's possibility. A true seller understands that. So he's telling me to do 5. Okay, I did the 5. It didn't really go as planned. So maybe there's something wrong with my execution. So until my execution improves, I'll do more. The whole concept, a true seller, to be legendary, you go until the job is done. You keep going until it's done. And it gives you a sense of worth when you do those type of things. So think about your individual process to attain your goals. So, okay, what are those things for me? Then look at them. Say, okay, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to make this, that, and this and that. But the reality of the matter, I'm only giving them 50%. So if I'm putting 50% in, that's what I should expect. The beauty about being in sales is there is no limit to how much money you can make. So when I talk to people in sales, I already know something special about you. You don't see life as the average person. You don't want someone controlling your destiny. You don't want someone writing your paycheck. You want to say, okay, if I made $20,000 a year, that's my fault. If I made $30,000, that's my fault. Whatever amount is in your control. So, and I want to make this point clear. I'm not highlighting making money as being successful. I'm highlighting making yourself valuable, and all of that comes with the process. Because if you fall victim to chasing the dollar, you're not really concerned about everybody else. So when I walk into a room, I want to make your day better. I want to make your day better so that you can go be great. And then when you're great, it makes me great. We're passing it around, giving. If I'm only concerned about myself, it will be evident. So in other words, think about it as a team effort. This is a quote I like that's in my chapter. Aim to be a low lifter and not a low giver. Aim to be a load lifter and not a load giver. What loving friend will see someone struggling with all this stuff on their back and then go give them more and then go down? So is it possible that we are not doing our own individual work and other people have to pick up the slack? See, when Brandon wins, everyone wins. The more successful he becomes, the more successful everyone else becomes. The more successful you become, the more successful he becomes. Never fall prey to feeling like, well, you know, this person doing this and I'm doing this and you know, everybody out to get me. No, 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 no. To be a magnificent seller, you have to hold yourself to the fire. If this didn't happen, it's my fault. If this didn't happen, that's my fault. So when you think about that, really look at your goal-oriented task. What does your performance say about you? Are you 80%? 20%? 40%? You can't be legendary. The only way to be legendary is 100%. So is everyone in here 100%? No? Well, that's okay. Because that is the first, I have to do this to myself. Sometimes I have to analyze myself, say, okay, all right, that's mediocre, and I have to get better. You have to become obsessed with greatness. I want to introduce you to the team aspect concept. So I'm gonna tell you how it works as a team aspect. So, you I can break this? Yeah. Alright, so follow me here. Alright, so I'm going back to this actual example that I'm talking about. So she has 6 team members. Alright, so the goal is 85 car policies a month. Her process is 40 calls. This is not my process, this is this individual process. All right, so we're gonna look at, so these are my goal-oriented tasks. So this automatically gives me a default of 300%. All right, so now let's do the actual numbers. So if everyone, this is the main one right here. So if everyone,
Close your blinds on the other side.
if everyone did their 5 calls a day, by the end of the week for one individual, there's 25 individual inquiries that they would have. And
I turn the light on.
Perfect.
Is it better?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can actually see it.
all right,
Too
and
much light coming in.
if everyone did their calls as a team, it'll be 30 total inquiries. All right, so this is a daily goal. Now we look at it on a weekly basis, it's all gonna come together. So on a weekly basis, there will be 150 total inquiries that they're gonna have as a team. This is individual and this is as a team. Now on a monthly basis, depending on the month, it's gonna be somewhere between 60 to 90 total overall leads, 600 to 690 total overall leads to attain this goal of 85 policies. And there's 14.2 policies per person, which is 85.2. All right, so now this is where it comes together. So now understanding these are my total possible leads, that leaves me with a total maximum effort of 69,000. If, for example, if this was here. Now, 69,000 between the team. Now for each individual, if I divide this by 6, that's gonna be 11,500 for each individual to make up this number. Now, so in this example, everybody for this goal has a possibility to put in 11,500% as individual. Now, this is how it counts. Let's say that everybody is doing 4,600% effort putting into this. If we add that up times 6, that'll be 27,600. Actual effort, I call it AE, actual effort. Now, if I subtract 69,000 possible effort, you simply get the possible effort by knowing the total overall leads you're gonna get. And then you times 100%. Remember, everything is always 100% until you perform it. 69,000 minus this would be 41,400. Now, if I divide 100 into this times this, that's a 60% effort. So if you, I would love numbers. That's an F. So people don't look at it like that. So when you look at any process, you always go back to the numbers. If the numbers can be accurately calculated. I do this with my clients as well, everything that I do. So when you look at it like that, so you look at your individual task. So, okay, this is her process as an example. The only way I can do the numbers is know the process. This is her process. Now let's look at everybody. Okay, this is you as an individual. So, okay, boom, boom, boom. So you're supposed to do 5 inquiries a day, but you're only doing 2, so that's a 40% effort in that, way. You're doing 20 phone calls, 40%. Everybody needs to be 100%. That's how we're gonna get this right. And then we look at the overall team effort. If I'm giving this amount, and then 5 other people are giving half of that, then we do the overall team effort, we're failing because we're missing 40% or 30% or even 5%. Everything needs to always be 100%. And then you can look at the process. What if everybody is doing 100%? You always look at 2 things. Maybe something's wrong with the process. Maybe 40 phone calls don't do it. Or it's the execution. So am I talking to 40 people, but it's a mediocre example of this discussion? So the only way you can revamp a process is to accurately go through numbers if you really want to know if the process sucks. See, it's going to be 2 things, either the process or the person implementing the process. So everyone here should focus on the individual tasks, and also the team task. So I look at you and say, I'm giving my 11,500%, and you doing 5,000? Where you at, man? So when it adds up, it's simple. Once you know the overall possible effort, you subtract it from the actual effort being given, and then you take it and divide that difference by 100. 100 divided by the possible effort times this. I know how to do this really well because I do macros and all that kind of stuff. So that would be a 60%. So when I'm talking to people, because they have this mistaken concept and ideology of what's going to work, people already plan on what they think is going to work with no proven strategy. Well, I want to be able to run the marathon, but I don't want to run 60 miles a week, so I'm just going to do 10 miles a week. Now it's proven that if you want to be like this person, this is what you need to do. But in my head, I want to do 20% of what they're doing and be like them. So who's the top achiever here? Who is that? Then look at that person. What are they doing? Let me be like them. So when you do that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to make more money. Your self-worth is going to go up, and you're going to work up with it perfect. It is boring to wake up every day and do the same stuff. I have nothing to look forward to. Okay, I'm just going to do the bare minimum. I know this. I'm probably going to make this. Normally we do that because we're scared to put ourselves out there. See, you are a genius. Everyone in this room is a genius. People have been conditioned not to think of themselves as that. If you ask the average person, "Are you a genius?" "Oh no, I ain't no genius." But this guy is. That's not true. What's going on? They're not investing in their mind. They're not getting better. Our upbringings are so different. So if a parent put you through all these private schools and gave you all this stuff, you may have a slight advantage. But at some point, none of that matters. You have to accept that wherever you are is your personal fault, and that you have a talent. That what people make the mistake of, they don't pursue their talents. People have to be able to identify their gift. Everybody in it, it's like a team. You may be the quarterback, you may be the wide receiver, whatever it may be. If you're playing the wrong role, we have to revamp that as well. So look at those type of things and say, how can I be an asset here? So again, look at your process, look at your individual tasks that you're responsible for. Like, just look at yourself. So these are my 6 tasks. I have 100% to start off in each task. So what is my percentage for this task? This task. Let me put them all together. Out of my 600%, I'm giving 200%. I'm doing bad. I have to get that to 100%. And then once you do that, you give it 100, you give it 100, you give it 100, you give it 100. Guess what? It increases everything. So I need that 40% back if I'm missing out on that. That's a lot. 5% is a lot. Focus on those things. I want to also talk about a concept. You can probably don't think this is corny, but I like it. It's called the Ivy League School of Greatness. Ivy League School of Greatness. And this concept is figuratively given and symbolically delivered to say that you can earn a degree of greatness every single year, one to 3 degrees. So the normal college degree is somewhere between, 4-year degree, between 120 to 180 credit hours. All right, so that's 40 to 50 courses. So the actual math on that is 540 to 675 actual hours. I'm not talking about study time, just actual core lecture. To get a degree in greatness, all you have to do is invest 2 to 4 hours of your time. If you invest 4 hours every day, that's 3 degrees of greatness. So never should your learning process stop. Are you attending seminars? Are you listening to speeches? Are you learning? You can earn a degree in greatness every year. Every year my goal is to earn 3 degrees in greatness. I have this thing that symbolizes I'm getting better every day. Today I'm on 108. I say I'm phenomenal times whatever day it is. For example, I'm phenomenal times 108. Tomorrow I'll be 109. That just conditions my mind to look for ways to get better every day. So ask me how I'm doing. Isaac, how you doing? I'm phenomenal times 108. Catch me tomorrow will be 109. Are you getting better every day? I'm obsessed with, I really am. I'm obsessed with greatness. So I like to talk to great people that are looking for ways to do different things. So I've already seen my vision. You know, everything starts with your imagination. I've already seen where I'm gonna go. You know, so when I saw that and I start believing in that process, and that's how I know everyone has a gift, I see where I'm gonna go. So I make the declaration now, I'm gonna make millions of dollars doing this. Not because I'm seeking the money, because this is what I enjoy doing. You know, I enjoy helping people, I enjoy talking to people, you know. So is your life legendary? So what are you gonna do moving forward? You know, what happens sometimes we hear good information, it goes in one ear and out the other one. So we have to change our belief system. I'll give you a good example. I know exactly what someone needs to do to get abs and get in shape. If they have conditioned themselves that they don't have to do all of that, it doesn't matter how much science I show them, how much proven theories I give them in examples, their belief system won't accept the facts. So this is why I like numbers. Change your belief system. Be humble enough to say, I'm a dummy. I tell myself that. I don't know everything. If I know everything, I can't get better. So what does my numbers show? Am I arguing with the sun? I like to call it the sun. See, the sun is coming up and down. You have people that will argue with the sun, so to speak. Oh, the sun not coming up, but well, there it is. The truth is incontrovertible. Your numbers show that you are giving a 50%, which is an F. That's not good. And people sometimes, you know, train a guy, well, I'm showing up, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but you look the same. Well, Isaac, I'm showing, isn't that good enough? No, it's not good enough. I don't have time to do all of that. Well, you don't want the results. So, do you have time to make your calls? Do you have time to do all your inquiries? See, when you become obsessed with greatness, I'm telling you that's the key. Develop a degree in greatness every single year. You'll be amazed once you start investing in your mind, but it has to be things you enjoy. Just something about getting better motivates you. And then you start talking, you'll start noticing your associations. And you're going to want to start to be around other people who are doing the same things. So invest in your mind. I listen to a speech every single day. I give sermons as well, but I listen to something every single day. And not saying I don't have fun, but I have to feed my mind. See, I look at my body the same. I say, okay, well, I'm never going to be perfect, but I'm shooting to give myself the best. So where's my spirituality? Have I learned something new about God? You know, where's my relationship with my wife? Is it the same? Is it getting stale? Where's my relationship with my friends? I'm looking for ways to get better, and it motivates you. So you have to do that. Are you reading something that's involved with this company? See, the more you know, the more you can give out. The more you know, the more you can overcome objections. See, I didn't even realize unconsciously when I was studying to become a trainer, I was reading textbooks. I tried to read a textbook every other month. I was just obsessed, but I didn't realize all that information was giving me something to rebuke, not to rebuke, to a rebuttal for an objection. Nobody wants to pay for anything. However, the fact that they're talking to me means that they're interested. So hold yourself to this responsibility. If you ever have someone talking to you and they're giving you their time, if you didn't get it, you did something wrong. You have no control if they're going to buy. However, if you hold yourself to that standard, you'll be amazed at what you can say. I used to have this thing, I used to tell myself, at the end of the sales opportunity, I'm going to be the last one talking. Even if I say something as simple as, well, you have a nice day, I really appreciate this opportunity. I can't let them leave defeating me. But also, I put them in my little notes and say, okay, I'm going to get you, maybe 6 months from now, but I'm going to get you. And you have to stay in contact. I said, okay, well, I'll maybe send them an email, check on them every now and then. And some people I start to irritate them and I'll just simply back up totally. So, do you have that concept? Are you letting people get away? Are you bringing them in? And no one should get away. If you're obsessed with greatness, they can't get away. If anything, they're going to be attracted to you. They're going to remember something that you did. But you have to be genuine. You can't be a cheesy salesman. We're all selling ourselves every day. I'm selling myself to my wife every day. If I stop brushing my teeth and start treating her any old kind of way, I'll probably be divorced. So we can't get comfortable. So what is this concept of getting comfortable? You don't want to be comfortable. You always want to look for ways to get better. I don't like to read. Well, learn. I don't know how to do it. Well, learn. Because when you do those things, it gives you a sense of worth and it elevates your standard of living. And never seek the money, seek to become valuable. And God has given everybody in here a gift. Romans chapter 12, verse 4 through 8 says it. Everybody has a gift. We're all made in God's image. We have some special stuff inside of us. From a scientific standpoint, the anatomy of the brain is the same. Of course, he appears to be smart. He's attending seminars. He's reading. And other persons on Instagram, not doing anything. So, of course, he appears to be smart, but he's not. He had a different upbringing. Okay, all that's true. He has an advantage. But it only becomes an advantage if you keep it that way. Hard work always wins. If I'm willing to work harder than this other person, no matter how talented he is, I'm going to win. Because guess what? He's around on his talent. He's putting 50%. My extra 50% or 100% effort is going to have to start to add up. And that's how we all have to be. So will your life be legendary? Will your TV series be legendary from this point forward? See, I'm going to come back in about a month. My second speech is going to be called The Art of Sowing. Now, everybody should be given 100%. And if I guarantee you this, if you do 100%, everything is going to go up. And then, if it doesn't work, you're going to see maybe something's wrong with the process or the execution of the process with the person that's executing it. So a good strategy can only go so far without somebody that knows what they're doing to execute it. So I want to close out with this particular piece I put together. So I do sermons and I do spoken word performances. And I didn't know why I wrote this about 2 years ago, but now I know why now. It's called Self-Belief. Remember this, none of this matters if you don't believe in yourself. None of it. You have to believe in yourself. I'm not supposed to have my wife. She didn't want me. Her best friend, she lived in Houston, had all these, I like obstacles. She lived in Houston, and my delusional viewpoint of myself, when she walked in front of me, was at a nightclub, and I thought she was walking in front of me so that I can, come up there and catch up with her, so she walked in front of me, she was trying to get away from me. So I saw her, I was like, yes, go on now. But she was trying to get away from me. Because how I saw myself, I didn't see that. I saw what I wanted to see. So anyways, I got her number, I was excited about it. A friend called me, a best friend, she said, Isaac, she don't like you, man. She just was being nice. And I said, you don't know what you're talking about. She said, Isaac, I'm her best friend. Don't you think I know what I'm talking about? I said, you don't know what you're talking about. I saw something. I'm not saying pursue things that aren't for you. Sometimes you just know. And that's how you have to have that approach. You can change people's mind with your level of passion. So anyways, I pursued my wife for about 6 months. That's how long it took me to get her to, to be my girlfriend. She was saying, I wasn't tall enough, I wasn't her type, I live in Baton Rouge, she lives in Houston, all this stuff. She said, what you do for a living is not a real career. What if you lose all your clients, all that fear? And I said, well, you don't know what I'm capable of. I said, you don't know. So what I did, I said, this is what I want. So I would pop up in Houston sometimes. I would just say, maybe if I'm there, maybe I'll make a mistake and run into or anything. I just believed that I could do that. And I was being myself. I wasn't pursuing somebody that didn't want me from the actions. Think about sales like that. So you're telling me you're not interested, but you've been talking to me for an hour. You got to pay attention to the signs. So if I don't get her, then I did something wrong. Who's going to give me an hour at a time, just sit there and talk to me, and they're not interested, smiling and laughing? Do we do that with people we're talking to? We're not saying the right stuff. So I said, what can I tell her to show her who I am and why she needs to have me over any other guy? So I have to say this because this is my highlight of this. So when she, told me she didn't want to be with me, she told me to move on with my life, and she said she's sorry for leading me on. That didn't discourage me. I got more excited. So she told me to jump in the car. She said, get in your car and leave. Go back to Baton Rouge. I don't want this. So I looked at that, so I got her right where I want her. I saw she's starting to fall in love. So are we noticing when the people are starting to fall in love with us? When they're trying to get away, but really, we just got to reel them back in. So what I did, I walked up to her. This is a true story. If she was here, she would say this very corny. I walked up to her. I turned her away from me. I said, you're trying to run that way. And I'm a hopeless romantic as well. And I turned her toward me, and I said, this is where you need to run right here. And then I grabbed her and hugged her and kissed her. She started laughing. So I broke her down. I stayed persistent. And then it got to the point, now it's time to close. So she's still playing all these games. So, do you know how to close? So now it's time to close the deal. So 6 months, look here. I put my time in, I've done this and that. I'm connected, so now I know I can hard close her. So at this particular point, I'm not coming back to Houston no more. I did all this stuff for you, playing games. You're telling me you don't like me, but here's the thing. It's been 6 months, we're still talking. Well, what is this? Well, Isaac, this, that. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. I'm not coming back. And I said, I still love you, and I hope you have a great life. But remember this, you ain't gonna find anybody else like me. So I walked away. She called me back. She said, Isaac, I don't want to lose you. See, sometimes we don't give people enough time. We don't give people enough time to cogitate the things that we've given them. So we got to know when to go in, when to step out. So I look at it like this. So my wife is there. I'm in a circle. She doesn't even know I'm there. I'm paying attention to the signs, waiting for the opportunity to close. That's the concept. So her friend telling me, you don't know what's possible. Who knows what's possible? That's what I like about sales. No one knows what's possible. You can't tell me what I can't do. My mama said, well, if you become a trainer, you're going to lose all your clients. You need to get a secure job. You don't know what's possible for me. Believe in yourself. Always believe in yourself. Set whatever Brandon tells you to do, go above that. He says, do this, double it. If you aim low, you hit low. So part of me was like, maybe I should go for this girl over here because I know I'll get her. But what would that do for my self-esteem? I'm going for the best. But I'm only going for it if I want it, not trying to force it. Don't ever force something. So just remember those things. So in conclusion, I'm going to close out with a poem for you. When you think about your life being legendary, are you inspiring people? Is your life exciting? Your life could end today or it could end tomorrow. Would you be satisfied with the things you've done? Would your life inspire your mom, your dad, your children, anybody? Or would they look at it and say, let me put that on another channel? That's a waste of airtime. If you're not getting better, if you're not inspiring people, if you're just waking up, going through the motion, it's a waste of airtime, but it shouldn't be. So many people live a life of mediocrity, unfortunately. Why? I don't even know. They're not even maximizing their greatness. Wherever you are, even if it's not your true passion, you have to give it your all because their same work ethic will transfer into another aspect. It will. So if you've been this way for 20 years, lazy, and you say, well, maybe if I switch it up. No, you're still gonna be lazy. So you hold yourself to a personal standard. I'm gonna earn a degree in greatness. I'm gonna take 2 hours a day and invest in my mind. I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna learn more. I'm gonna come up with new sales tactics. I'm gonna start getting creative to think of different things that I could say to people to overcome an objection. I'm gonna make a connection. I'm gonna circle them, so to speak. I'm gonna be waiting for an opportunity. I'm not gonna waste too much time. I'm gonna move on to the next person. And then when it's opportunity, I'll close in on this individual. I'm not gonna waste too much time on this person. Because what happens, people know when you're giving them too much time. Now you look desperate. So when I said I was pursuing my wife, I wasn't calling her like that. I took advantage of my time. You know, I come in and jump out. She don't want to talk. I don't want to talk either. You know, so it's the same thing. You're selling yourself and you're seducing. That's how I like to look at it. It's art of seduction. Everything is sales. You have to sell yourself to your children. Why should I listen to you, mom and dad? Everything. So if you look at it like that, it's all sales. So I'm gonna close out with this. This piece is called self-belief. And it goes like this. Where is the ideology of a dream? Where you could be whatever you wanted in your mind seen. Where obstacles were manipulated by all means. And on the other side of your dreams, the grass was always green. What happened to your imagination of dream when your mind wasn't blocked with dirt, but it was clean? We don't believe in ourselves anymore. We have accepted the conditions seen, accepting other people's visions opposed to what we know was seen in our dreams. So I'm exposing this disease so that your dreams can be redeemed. Not everyone believes that they can be whatever they want to anymore on this planet seen. The world is occupied with how it seems from another's imperfect being when self-belief is the only thing that should gleam. You see, your brain is like a TV that represents your dreams, seen through your eyes screen, but your eyes will only reflect the pixels that you've entered into your dreams. So how you see the world is based on how you program your TV to represent your dreams, seen through your eyes screen and then reflected into life seen. You know what I mean? So stop looking for someone else's belief and relief, because it starts with you and it starts with self-belief. So believe in yourself. You will do the things you want to. Your dreams are at your mercy, waiting for you to pursue. I'm telling you that you can be whatever you want to, but let's be brief. It starts with self-belief. You see, reshaping the mind is like fixing a broken spine, which requires readjusting and keeping the spine aligned. But you must protect your newly aligned mind. So you must protect your newly aligned mind. Dreams and goals are meant to perpetually remain in line. You see, a dream in active state is always intangible in our minds. It is your job to enlist your dreams into the workforce. Yes, it is a risk, but the greater the risk, the greater rewarded bliss. So acknowledge this and press rewind. It is a dream's job to intangibly enter the unconscious mind. Our dreams, they come afloat only when consciously summoned. Our dreams aren't running, they just sense when the right person is coming. You see, most intangibles, they can only come into existence with the right person to make them exist. But notice this. When gravity was introduced with clarity, space was produced. Do you see what a dream with the right tangibles can produce? You see, a dream, it must be more than some invisible force. It needs a driver to put it on its rightful course. And it is you. It is your choice. Oh, let the world hear your dream's voice. Of your mind, you are the chief. Let's get it done. And it starts with self-belief. So believe in yourself. You will do the things you want to. Your dreams are at your mercy, waiting for you to pursue. I'm telling you that you can be whatever you want to, but let's be brief. It starts with self-belief. That's all I got for you today.
That was good. I'm impressed. Very impressed.
Anyone have anything to ask me?
Questions, takeaways?
Do you have a card? Just so you benefit like a lot of people that I know.
I may have one in my car. I don't know if I have one on me. I know I got one in my car.
If not, I can text you Isaac's contact info.
No, I don't have one in my wallet. I have one in my car. But you can
I have a friend who's just like, they're not where they want to be.
Mhm.
And it's like, I can say all day, but like that was really motivational.
second guess some things I do every day,
Right.
that's for sure.
It made me think about a lot of stuff that I've been doing here, and even before I started working here. So, yeah.
Well, just
Consider
remember-
talking to children?
Oh, all of that, is on my list, you know, my book should be coming out, I have a deadline, September 24th, the publisher's guy in New York. And, this chapter takes a whole, you know, numbers don't lie, it goes into great detail, so this was just like 5%, but,
We gotta give 100%.
you know, well, it would take it would take some time to really break it down, so I just wanted to highlight, and you're right, it should be 100%. But, yeah, just develop an obsession for greatness, and that should be defined whatever you think that is. However, follow the proven examples of greatness. You know, success is based on what you perceive it to be, but true success is the intentional realization of something that you purposely try to do, because it has to be successful for you. If someone else is making your success or making your life's goal, you won't feel like it's successful. However, you know, why not? If you wherever you go, why not try to make the most money if you're there? Why not be the best person there? Why not? Why not? Why not be the best husband in the world? You know,
I am.
You know, yeah, shoot for it. You know, and you can always tell. You know, it's simple. It's really very simple. Whatever you did in the beginning, you got to keep it going. You know, so you did all this stuff, and my wife has to remind me I did all this stuff. You know, I used to drive 4 hours from it. Now you don't want to go around the corner for me. You know, I was like, you know, you're right.
I had a manager that used to tell me, treat your day like you treated your wife on the first date,
Cool.
because you tried everything that first date
Kinda like
to
I
make
say-
a first impression.
Or I say work every day like the day before you go on vacation.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're taking that week off and you get everything done, well, you kill it that day before you leave town.
It's very true.
So next time I come back, I'm gonna have some exercises. So this is my foundation speech. You know, the next one is called the art of sewing. So I really I'm telling you, just do it. Look at your individual goals. Everything starts off at 100%. You know, I like to compare it to a gas tank. Let's say a gas tank takes 16.23 liters. That is absolutely measurable. If I try to put more into it, it's gonna come out. You know, if it's on empty, it's 0%. Those are measurable constructs. However, cells aren't truly measurable constructs because no one knows what's really gonna happen. So when you look at it like that, before you take a test, you always start off with 100%. The only way it could be a 0% guarantee if you don't take it at all. Now you'll find out what percentage once you actually take it. So when you look at it from that perspective, everything is guaranteed until you do it. You don't know it until you go for it, unless it's already been a proven construct saying that, okay, this is all you can fit in here, no more, no less. I don't want that. Give me the unlimited possibilities. Because how I look at it, if I didn't get something, it's not because of me. You know, that wasn't meant for me. You know, that's 7.6 billion people on this planet. So if you don't want me, somebody else will. So we fall victim to just this small mindset. You know, let those people go. Put them in your backpack, so to speak. Know how to tap in and tap out. But it'll lower your own self-esteem. You start saying, well, maybe you could have done something wrong, but you have to know at some point I did everything I could do. You can't get everybody. But the whole point is, you can't really assess that unless you say, did I give 100%? Then you look at your execution. Now you can say, okay, all right, this not it. But you can never do that if you're not looking at it. Numbers won't lie to you. It's incontrovertible. It's going to tell you exactly what it is. I can say I'm a 50, I'm a 5% body fat, then the thing says I'm 30. I can tell myself that all day. Everybody else can tell I'm 30%, well not 30%, but everybody else can tell I'm 30%. Stomach sticking out here, and I'm not saying that to say that I look down on people that don't work out. I'm just using it as an example, that the truth is being shown. My performance is being shown. So let me just look at that, not say, oh, I'm doing this and that. So just do that, and you'll be amazed at how it restructures how you view everything. And some people may find out that they're giving 40%. That's okay, because now you can make up the difference. And then once you do that, put everything together, look at the overall team effort, and then see who is contributing everything that they can possibly contribute toward the team. The only way to do that is give your individual task 100%. So then we find out that, okay, we got 12 people, 9 people are given 100%, and we got 3 people that are being mediocre. So at some point, I gotta start looking at you. Okay, I need you to do this and get better, you know. And I personally believe if someone continues to be mediocre, you know, gotta kick them to the curb, because it holds the team back, you know. So, and honestly, everybody should be happy. You know, I would be happy if someone fired me because I'm being mediocre, but you have to develop an obsession for greatness to really understand that. You know, say, okay, thank you for firing me, so now I can get better. So just do that, and find something right now that you can do when you're setting your goals that will motivate you to invest in your life, invest in Brandon's business, your personal business, and think about what you're gonna get from it. Don't just go through the motions. Say, what can I, if I made a little more money, what could I do? How would this make me feel? You know, if I invested in a health plan, if I tried to read the Bible a little bit, if I prayed every day, whatever it is, how would this make a difference? Because I know what I'm currently getting, and I can expect this. If I'm getting 40%, I should expect 40% all the time. What can I do? Am I satisfied? Is this legendary? Is this legendary? Is this legendary? So, no, it's not legendary. It's okay, I want this to be legendary. Are we bored with our own life? Our life is so boring, we gotta call other people. You know, let me hear something you're doing, because I ain't doing nothing great. How you do it, man? How you go to the gym all the time? You know, people do that, they don't think about this. So just think about those things. And when you do that, you're gonna unlock your genius, and you're gonna appreciate the beauty of numbers don't lie, and your life will be a legendary TV program.
Oh, I know, you're good. I'll get it. Yeah, because I'm gonna put some stuff.